Hey there, this is Katherine. I am sharing a set from Diamond Press, the Pop Up Flower Bouquet card kit. This is a very fun set. It is, at this current time, still available on HSN. That's where I picked it up. It's part of an auto ship, so I'll get some future shipments of this. I think for now it's just sale for just that one set. So the auto ships might be available later. But you get two large stamp sets, and then you get all the dies that you're going to need. They've got these great sentiments too to make this pop-up bouquet of flowers. I had to have this one because it looked like it was a lot of fun. So I'm going to make 4 projects with this. So let's go ahead and get started. I am using some of my Gina K Obsidian Amalgam ink. I'm going to stamp this. You need these flowers to make the bouquet. You need 2 of each one. One has kind of the cut in the center. The other one is a solid one, so they'll slide together. So you'll see I've got these pieces. I've got 2 of each, and I have gone ahead and colored them. I used my Triblend markers. I will link those in the description, the brush ones. I did a pretty simple coloring. I just kind of changed it up a little bit to add a little variety and interest, but nothing too complicated there. I have also die cut the base for the bouquet. And so I'm going to look at the instructions. This is, I think I made one kind of a template to play with, but it's been a while and since I'm filming this, so I need to refresh my memory. And what I love about Diamond Press is on these a little more detailed projects, they give you the pictures, which are great because I'm a visual learner, and so you can always refer to them at any point. Okay, so you're going to start by gluing these back to back, and so I'm going to add a fair amount of glue, but you don't want to glue these little tabs. You'll see that I've folded these tabs forward away from each other, but let me get the correct ones together. So you got these tabs on the front after you cut it, and they're going to help hold the box together. So you don't want to glue those little flaps together. And then I'm going to do the same thing on this larger bouquet, taking care to make sure that those flaps are pushed forward. And all of that is on the instructions. And so let me match these up, and you'll see there's a little slit in that one. And so that's going to slide into the other one. But you really want these to dry well. You could use dry adhesive, but I did use liquid glue on all of these projects. Okay, so I've got my box, and you can see that I stamped a little ribbon on it. There's a ribbon stamp that goes across the length of it, and I'm just folding this up, following the instructions. And remember those tabs, those will be important to put everything together. But for now, I'm going to slide these 2 together, and I'm just referring to the picture, and you'll fold these tabs in, and then you can, it will lie down. And so, but you'll see that you've got to open these up, and I'm going to reference that in just a second. You've got these tabs, and then you will pull them out. I'm just making sure that one is folded down. You're going to end up with 4 tabs, and those 4 tabs are what you're going to glue to one side of the box, and then you'll close it up and glue the other 4 tabs to the other side. This will make sense in just a minute. So you can see I've got my 4 tabs in the picture. They've got a picture of the glue in green, so you can see that it's different from the white. So you can follow it visually where to lay it down. I'm going to do this card as an A2 size. You can do it as a 5x7 card as well. This bouquet will work in both of those size cards. You'll just move where you place the bouquet inside the little box feature. Okay, so I'm putting this at the bottom. As you can see on that left-hand side, it's telling me to put it at the bottom, close to those tabs. I've glued those 4 down, and now I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. I'm going to fold in this part that has a little bit of a tab, kind of fold or hinge on there, and then I'll bring in that other side. Now you need to let this dry really, really well if you are using a wet adhesive, because it's a lot of movement and motion in this, and you want to make sure it's really secure. So look at that, how cute. So you've got this little box. I've got my card base here. I'm using a pink card base, and you'll see there's another picture on the left-hand side showing you how to fold your box closed. You're going to want that tab on the left-hand side, and you'll see it in the picture. I'm going to add glue to one side, and then I will kind of follow the instructions visually of sort of placing that in the middle. And then I'm going to lay down the other side. I'm just making sure that it is not going to be glued shut. And, you know, if I put too much glue and it smushes out, you need to be careful of that if you do use the liquid. And then I'm also just making sure that this is where it's supposed to be before I let it dry. You can see I use the blocks, and I got a really nice secure hold. Look at that. How cute is that? I mean, I could do that all day. I love these interactive products that Diamond Press brings out. They've had the wheel, and they've had a little flip it thing with a tab fold it, pull tab. That's what it's called. Just lots of fun. So I've enjoyed the interactive things. I'm taking a large word die from my Diamond Press stash that I've had for a bit. I have run that through my machine using a patterned piece of paper that has a sort of similar purple tone to it. And then I'm using this paper. This is Razzleberry from Stamps of Life. And I do get a smudge on my card inside. I have no idea where it came from because I don't think I had really been working with ink, but somehow there was something on my craft mat. So I'll have to I'm going to use my little sand eraser and do my best with it. I'm not going to start over, that's for sure, and I'm certainly not going to waste it. So you just have to try and make the best sometimes when those things happen. All right, so I didn't use, there are these little extra flowers that you can use to kind of beef up inside your box if you wanted a little bit fuller bouquet. I did not end up using those, so I decided to trim them apart. You can see they fold in half, and so I'm just going to cut them into pieces. I'm going to do a little scissor work on them to trim off those edges, and I'm just going to kind of fill a little bit of the front of my card with those same flowers. And then I'm also going to do the same thing inside. I'm going to start trimming down some of those extras. I'm not going to let them go to waste for sure. So I'm just going to add these to my edges. Now, before you put that box down, you could add a layering piece of cardstock if you wanted to on both sides, just to add a little bit more. If you wanted a pattern paper or somewhere just a different color, you could do that, but I chose not to do that on this project. And I'm just using that card base that I've got, the pink. So I'm going to trim apart this other flower, and I love the kind of shape that they have, the movement. And so I'm just going to do the opposite and trim that one up, and I will switch corners on this. And I'm just taking care not to cut off the stem because it's a little bit skinny there. And so scissors are helping me out and making me able to use this little extra bit. Since most of it is die cut, it's pretty easy work at this point. Okay, so I'm going to use some more liquid glue. My box is looking really good. I'm so excited about it. Like I say, there'll be some auto ships in the future that I can't wait to get. It's just a fun little surprise for sure. And they're actually really pretty easy. I mean, coloring honestly is the hardest part of it. And you could make that very simple by either embossing or just stamping it onto a colored cardstock. You wouldn't even have to color. So you can make this as complicated or as easy as you want. So that is the first one. Look at that. Who would not be excited to receive that? I'm sorry. And they would think you were pretty awesome too. Can I just say that? Okay, so I'm going to move on to the next project. This one is a very quick and easy one. I did the stamping off camera. I used my stamp positioner. I loved that little bow stamp. And so I stamped that several times. You can see I used some traditional red and green ink on there. So I'm making this for Christmas. We're in that season and I can always use another Christmas card. I stamped that season's greetings came from the mason jar snow globe set that came out earlier this year that has been an absolute favorite of mine. All the little elements in there. So I used that to stamp the bottom. And I'm just layering this onto another piece of green cardstock and red cardstock. I'm going to finish this off with just a few little pieces. These are some little shaker pieces from, I believe it's Jelly Bean, that I have had for a long time. And I decided that those colors actually worked really well with this little bow. And I wanted to just finish off the center with a sweet little something. So I'm using my little sticky tool here, and I'm going to add those on there. So I've got 3 of the green and 2 of the red, and they actually fit really well. So just a little something different than what I normally use. Doesn't have a lot of sparkle, but it has a little bit of shine with the clear kind of glass look. Okay, so I kept stamping and coloring and had the best time, and so I wanted to use this one in a different way. So again, I am doing some scissor work, and I am just running my scissors around the bottom where those little tabs are, and I'm going to just use this as a bouquet. I love the shape of it, and it's kind of got that triangle shape at the top, and then that bottom sort of flares out. I thought that might be fun. I had this die in my stash. I believe this is my favorite things. I loved the shape of it. I thought it worked well with that kind of triangle top. So I've added some foam to the back of my bouquet. I definitely want to pop this up. And again, I used Spectrum Noir, the Triblend brush markers. So I'll link all those colors. I actually wrote them down so I won't forget which colors I used in my bouquets. And then I've got this sweet little hello, this little word die. This is in the Flower Pot pull tab set that came out, another auto ship. I have a lot of these auto ships I've made videos on. So if you got any of the other auto ships and you're interested, be sure and check out my channel because I've done a bunch of them this year and had a lot of fun. Okay, so look at that. So beautiful. I pulled a couple of cardstocks that had some similar tones to the flowers and the colors that I used. And then I found these sweet little butterflies. This is like a little shaker bits that I got from Joann's last year, and I just added that to finish off my card. Okay, so now we're going to move on to another bouquet. We're back to making bouquets. I have gone ahead, glued these together. I've got those tabs folded. I'm going to lay this down and get those 4 tabs that I referenced earlier and showed you. I'm going to glue them into my box. I used a box that had a similar shade to the marker. This one is, I think this is Spearmint from Stamps of Life, a nice dark rich green that I thought worked well with the colors of that I used from those markers. Okay, but this one I am going to do a larger card base. So I'm going to do that 5 by 7. And you'll see I'm referencing that picture so I can see visually where I need to place this. So it will look great inside of this card. I'm going to glue this one down, and I'm kind of making sure my position is where it needs to be and that it's mostly straight. And then I'm going to put that tabbed piece in, and then I will link that other piece over. Let that dry really, really well. Like I keep saying, I know I'm a broken record, but I tend to start messing with it right away and it just falls apart. So don't do that. Listen to my advice. Just kidding. Let it dry. I'm very impatient, so I have to just walk away from it to get that adhesive to stick. All right, so now we're going to finish this off with the tab facing the correct direction. I'm going to set my one side down, close my card, and make sure I'm in a pretty good position, kind of butt up against the center line there, and then I'm going to do on the other side as well. And I will let it dry, and I'll be back. But while that is drying, I am going to add something inside my card to go with that bouquet. I have got this is part of the holiday gift bag set, also from Diamond Press. Everything in this video I think is from Diamond Press, mostly released this last year. I've got tons of it. And so I'm just going to kind of doctor. This is a bag, but there are 2 other parts that you usually put around it to create the bag. But I decided this might be a great little holder for a gift card. So you can see I doctored it a little bit by making an extra deep, longer score line. So I've got room in there to fit my gift card, but it'll cover it up so it won't fall out. So I'm going to let that dry, and then I'll be back. All right, moving on. Now we need to think about the front of the card. I have trimmed some red, this is like red and white stars paper from my craft stash. Pretty sure that was from Paper Tray Ink. And then I'm using another Diamond Press set that was part of the Windows auto ship. I think this one was called Holiday. And so I stamped Santa and a tree in the window and then layered that piece on there. Very Simple, quick, easy coloring there. And I have stamped the sentiment, "May your Christmas be bright." That is included in that same set, the holiday window one. And I'm just making sure that this is going to fit. And then I will layer that all up onto my card base. And I'm using the red card base that has the flowers in there. So lots of Christmas colors in this one. Okay, and again, it's 5 by 7. All right, so my gift tag holder has dried. I am going to attach this to the right-hand side. I am left-handed, and so I think it would be easier for me to write since I've already got that beautiful bouquet in there as a left-handed person on that left-handed side. So you can choose which side you would want to put your gift card in there. And I've got some of these little flowers. They're also included in the stamp set. I went on and stamped a bunch of them. I'm going to put that on the top of this one instead of putting a little tag. I'll let that flower kind of be my center there. And then I'm going to use up a couple of these other little pieces to go along with the beautiful bouquet that we've got going on in this card. Very Christmassy. I know exactly who I'm giving this card to. I'm not going to say who it is because this person may watch. And so I don't want them to know, but they probably can figure it out. But I do have an intended recipient for it. And I know that this person will be very excited to get it. I hope. Okay, so that is it on that. And honestly, it's really not that bulky. The bulkiest part to me, even with that gift card in there, is the front with the foam. So it just looks so good and it's so much fun. They're kind of addictive, I'll be honest. Okay, so here's that one. Okay, so let's just recap here. We've got that 5 by 7 Christmas card filled with a bouquet of flowers and a gift card for the recipient. We've got the Season's Greetings gift bow card, this beautiful blue bouquet with the cool tones, and then the first card that I made, this 4 by 4.5 by 5 1/4 A2 sized card. So I hope you enjoy these. This bouquet is a lot of fun, and I hope that if you have it, you are inspired to try it out. Be sure to hit the like button if you enjoyed this video. Leave me a comment and let me know which one you liked best. If you like the bouquet, which bouquet you like best. And thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you soon. Have a great day.